Guys, Harden here, back with another eVeckers video after a very long break. I haven't really felt that inspired. I was going to do something on my PvP Typhoons that I've been having a lot of success with recently, but I hadn't really got a chance. But the reason for the video tonight is because I finally got hold of the new Covert Ops Typhoon, and what I'm going to do now in this video is show you my setup for the first time. In fact, this is going to be a bit experimental because I'm not quite sure what the best way to set this ship up is, so I will appreciate all kind of comments and feedback in the to the video afterwards. So if you have any suggestions or whatever, please feel free to put those forward to me. But for now, let's just jump in. I got this in the crate from the event earlier today. Moved it down to Jita. I'm not sure where this is going to be based in the future, but let's have a look. Here we go. Let me just make sure I've got the right ones. Yes, it's this one here, the Typhoon Special Ops. Okay, I'm going to set that active. It's not fit at all. And we're just going to have a quick look at its bonuses, because I think the bonuses will have an impact on how I set this ship up. Alright, so let's jump in here. One second while it loads. There's no core on here yet, there's no rigs on here yet, no modules on here yet. So if I jump in here to have a look at the ship description, you can see it starts with a base defense of 198,000, which is pretty huge actually, when you consider that there's absolutely no modules on there already. And I think that's kind of a key thing to build on, because if you look at the bonuses for this ship, you can see, if I scroll down here, you've also got the cloaking device lock relay, the cloaking device reactivation delay, but one of the kind of key bonuses to these ships is the shield extender shield bonus, which is plus 50%. So if you fit a shield extender onto this ship, and I have got pretty good shield extender skills, you get an extra 50% bonus on that. And when you think this ship is already starting with 198,000 hit points, I think that is a must-have to have at least one or two on those ships. Then in terms of the other skills here, you've got the Expert Large Missile Torpedo, which luckily I already have at 5, and you're getting plus 4% missile damage per level. You're getting torpedo activation time, which again is quite significant, and then the explosion velocity, which excuse me, good timing for this. Hopefully I will reconnect shortly. Bit of a bane of the life at the moment. My Wi-Fi connection in the bedroom is not working as well as I would like. Let's see if we can get back on here. Otherwise I'm just going to scrap this video. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you can see here the large missile explosion velocity, which helps the ship hit smaller, faster targets. So that's again quite a nice bonus. I'm not sure if that applies to all the Typhoon hulls. The Typhoon is definitely better than the standard Raven in terms of hitting smaller targets, faster targets. Well, with possibly the exception of the Raven Navy issue, because that one actually does hit well. You also have a lot of bonuses there for cannons, but I have, as you can see there, 0 skills in cannons, so that's not going to be relevant here at all. And then Expert Target Management, you can see I have that at level 5 already, which means I'm getting plus 25% scan resolution, which means I lock faster, and also a reduction in my signature radius of 4% per level, so that's an extra 20% in terms of scan radius, so I think that's quite helpful. And then finally, Expert Battleship Command. Don't know why I actually trained this, it was quite a while ago, but it does come in quite handy, because you can see here I've got an extra 10% flight velocity as a result, 10% minus 10% inertia, and then an additional maximum jump range. And then in terms of the max jump range, it's 4 light years. The warm-up time is 0 seconds. Jump drive fuel cost is 200,000 gigajoules per light year, and then jump drive capacitor need, and then there's some kind of basic stats there in terms of the rest of the ship. So I think the primary thing here is obviously, apart from its ability to jump to covert sinos, which looks pretty nice, I think this ship does look like it's going to be pretty tanky, and should still be able to deliver a reasonable amount of DPS, especially once add in rigs and add in the nano. So in terms of the nano, that's the first thing I'm going to add is I actually have a golden nano, which I've been using on my PvP Typhoons to great effect. Now, as you all guys all know, I have 3 accounts. On 2 of the accounts, I've got a Dark Halo core, which really is focused on kind of the shields. This one, however, is not. It is a thermomagnetic storm, which is more kind of focused on the DPS side of things. But let's fit that on here and see what impact that makes immediately, and I'll show you what the details are on this. So if we jump in here to view details, then you'll be able to see what the bonuses are on this one. Okay, so the basic attributes, you can see there 18% missile torpedo damage, another 8% missile torpedo damage there, a lot of extra capacitor, then thermal damage, 10.64, which does work again well with, which works well with the implant, the warhead charge, and then you can see an extra 10.64% shields, and that's as far as I've taken that one. And then if we then, let's minimize that, and if we jump into the missile torpedo damage there, it's an extra missile torpedo thermal damage, it's an extra 22.5%. So once I put this ship into thermal mode with the warhead charge, it does really boost up the damage. In terms of the this one, I haven't boosted this, but you can see here I actually do have enough to actually boost that and add this in. So I'm going to actually do this now. So I actually have enough of this nanocore materials. Hopefully won't get any failures. We'll see. I'm sometimes very lucky and sometimes very unlucky with this. All good so far, but the chances are diminishing. So let's keep our fingers crossed here. Oops, 1 failed. Let's try again. Oh no, 2 failed. Am I going to be able to have enough to do this? Okay, we'll see. I really would be sad if this doesn't work. All right, 60% success. We have enough for 3 more goes with 2 of it. Oh no, we only have enough for 2. I have to cross my fingers and hope here, guys, unless I want to buy some of these things. Okay, so we've got 1 more. We have enough for 1 more spin. 50% success. Let's pray. Here we go. Oh wow, okay, that worked out well. So okay, let's set active. Okay, which is small laser damage, which is completely irrelevant. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to reconstruct attributes here, and we are going to switch to missiles. And I think what I'm going to do here is I have an additional missile activation time bonus here. So if I scroll on around here, I think it's this one, activation time. It's level 5, minus 4.2. So I'm going to add that now, which again is going to really help with the DPS on this. So let's jump back here. So you can see there's an extra minus 4.2, which doesn't seem like much, but actually adds about 10 to 12% in terms of damage on this core. So it looks quite small, the 4.2, but it actually, in terms of DPS, when you compare it to the straight up missile damage, I have compared, this one is actually better than the pure damage bonus. So okay, so that's the basic setup on this ship. Let's jump out of the core. Now, in terms of the main missiles, I have actually been using on my PvP Typhoon, I have been using large missiles, and luckily I have a bit of a stock here. I didn't realize I had a stock here, but it seems I do. So I'm going to actually put large missiles on. Now, large missiles are not the best normally for hitting smaller targets, but on the Typhoon they're actually not that bad, especially if you combine them with some of the offensive mods that actually again reduce the explosion, increase the explosion radius, and increase the, I always get this mixed up, the velocity and the explosion radius. I can't remember which one is which, but basically if you have those rigs on with the Typhoon's own bonus already, it can be quite effective at hitting smaller ships. So I've just put the wrong one on there. So let's keep doing this. Let's go to the next one, fit. And the next one, I actually don't know if I have enough. I might actually have to buy one. Fit, and one more here, and Okay, let's have a quick look here. Okay, I'm going to have to obtain modules, so let's just buy one off the market. As you can see, this is completely live, no editing. High slots main weapon, missile launchers, and large missile launchers. Here we go. And let's pick one off the market here. This is why I'm in GTA, because I can get these things quite easily. And they're 20 million a piece now. The prices seem to have gone up. So let's just get one purchase. Okay, and let's head back to the fitting screen. Okay, let's drop that on there. So the DPS currently is 1,648. Oh no, 1,883. And again, we have no rigs on this ship yet. So again, that's a kind of reasonable starting point for the DPS. Especially, let's have a quick look at this. At the explosion radius is 227, which let me see, the explosion velocity. Okay, so the explosion velocity is the one that you want to be faster, because obviously the closer it gets to the target speed, the more damage it delivers and applies. And then the explosion radius, you want to get that as small as possible, if I'm correct, because that means it's going to be more precise. So the explosion radius, you want to get it smaller, and the explosion velocity, you want to get it larger. Okay, but that's a reasonable starting point there. Again, you could go with rapids, which actually do hit out to about 40-50 kilometers with skills now, but I do find that the missile range here, you've got 128 kilometers. It's helpful if you get, like, someone sticks a missile guidance disruptor on you, and in various situations it does work out quite useful to have that extra range and flexibility, because it does as I said, the Typhoon does tend to with large missiles does tend to work quite nicely. All right, so let me now jump in here. Now there is a bonus to shield extenders from this ship, so I do want to look at adding some shield extenders to this ship, but I don't see any in my hangar here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a couple of shield extenders. So low slot enhancement here, shield extenders, and we're going to go with large shield extenders. Let's see which one. I think probably the Republic Fleet large. Let me just see if there's any of these for sale. No, there isn't. Okay, there normally isn't. Let's check that one. No. Okay, so the Republic Fleet is probably going to be the one that's available currently. Again, double the market price. And let's have a look at this one. Even more. Okay, let's go for these. I've noticed that the prices have been going through the roof the last week. I think a lot of people have been back in the game because of this event and the new Black Ops ships, and that's kind of been forcing the prices up. Okay, so we've got a couple of those. Let's go back to the fit. Let's add one of those. So again, so let's have a look at the EHP. So the EHP at the moment is 203,000. Let's add a single Republic Fleet large there, and that has now increased the shield by about 18,000 hit points. Let's add a second one just to see what the effect is. So the first one added about 18,000 hit points. The second adds about 17,000, so that's quite reasonable. Let's now look at, again, we want to make this quite tanky. All right, so we've got one Gistum C-type, so we definitely need more than that. Let me see. All right, let's pick up maybe two more of these. Yeah, two more. Purchase. Actually, let's pick up, yeah, two more. So I've got one in the thing already. Purchase. Okay, and let's drop those in there. So let's drop one on. Let's drop the second one on. And let's drop the third one on. Now, this is where it's going to be interesting, because That's 3, which is probably, you don't really want to have any more. And then I do want to go with a damage control. Let's obtain, well, I could go with damage control or a yellow, or possibly both. But the other thing is I do want to put on a guidance computer, because I have a very nice level 10 GU, which increases the missile velocity and decreases the explosion radius. If you hold on a second, let's have a quick look. Damage control here, damage control. Let's have a look. This sentient, no. All-round damage control, that's the normal one. It's up to 67 million, wow. And that's probably even more. Let's have a look. Federation, Navy. Let's have a look. That's 5 million. Let me have a look at that. It's 8.23 in terms of resistances. Let's see what this one is. 8.64. So it's not really very much more. And how much more expensive is it? 96. Well, it is a Black Ops battleship, so you do want to get something reasonable. So it does add that little bit extra. So let's purchase that, and we will add that to the ship here. Okay, so let's drop that on there. Okay, so now what we're looking at is 1,000, sorry, in terms of the defense, it's 250,000, but that's before we activate any of the hardeners. So what I'm going to do quickly as an experiment is just simply duck outside the station. And then we'll have a quick look when I activate these hardeners, what the okay, here we go. Let's stop the ship. A bit laggy here at Jita. Stop. Okay. Alright, so let's just activate these, and let's just jump in and see what the EHP is now. So the EHP now is nearly 500,000. Okay, and again, bear in mind there are no rigs on this ship yet, so it's nearly 500,000. And if I activate the all-round damage control, let's do that, and then again jump in here. Let's see what the, so now the defense is 1.4 million, which is pretty fantastic in terms of the EHP on that, but 500,000 on its own is pretty nice. The only other issue, okay, let me just check one other thing. I'm just going to actually put this into the thermal mode. Let's have a look. I just want to see what the DPS is like. So here we go. So with thermal mode, the DPS is now 2,802. Again, with no damage rigs on here. So 2,802. So that's not too bad. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dock up. If I can. This station is being funny. Dock. Okay. Okay, so again, just waiting for it to load. My tablet here is a bit slow. Okay, so let's just jump back into the fitting. So I just kind of wondering if I did take off, I'm just thinking about the tank, my PvP version that I've been using down in nullsec is doesn't have any shield extenders on it. Now the shield extenders, this ship does get a bonus, so it would be a pity not to use them, but I'm just curious if I take these off and I add in a yellow, there isn't a yellow there, and also a maybe I just take off one. Let's take off one and then we'll add it in a yellow. So let's disassemble that and let's add in a yellow. So I'm just curious, if we add a yellow, what impact that will have on the total EHP, again, prior to doing any rigs. So shield extenders, shield hardeners, reactive shield hardeners, and again, so again I think, oh no, this is the wrong one, this is reactive here. Okay, again, it might be worth, I mean, even the B type there is not that expensive, and the C type certainly isn't. The yellow hardener might be handy for this ship, because this ship is really going to be in PvP when you choose the PvP, where you're jumping, trying to catch some target. So you shouldn't be fighting multiple targets, which means that the damage coming into you is normally going to be of a limited nature, which means the yellow hardener should be quite effective in terms of reducing the incoming damage. So even if I add this to the ship, it wouldn't be reflective of a real fight when it kind of, again, just to show you, the standard is shield damage resistance is 18.24, but then if the damage is coming from one type, the conversion rate is 4 times, so it actually becomes much better if the damage is coming from only 1 or 2 types. So let's just jump out of the station again briefly, just curious on this. I mean, the other thing is, as I said, my PvP Typhoon in 0.0, I do run a missile guidance computer on there because of the GU, and I would like to do so here, but again, I don't want to, as the ship has got a shield extender bonus, I want to see whether taking those off really makes a big difference. Okay, so let's have a look. Oh, I actually need to activate them. So at the moment, unactivated, it's 241. You remember before it was like 490, something like that when I activated these. Let's have a look now and jump in. And now, well, actually, the EHP has actually gone up. After I took the shield extender off and put an additional tank mod on there, the EHP has actually gone up from that extra tank mod. And that extra tank mod, as I said, if it was in a real situation and I was in a, like, just hitting one target, that could actually add even more EHP on there. So I am kind of torn between having the additional shield extender. I mean, the shield extender, you do have that active period, which also is a bit of a bonus in a fight. But whether you need 2, I'm not quite sure. I kind of think that yellow is probably better. And again, let me just see if I activate the damage control as well. Let's have a look at the EHP on here. So now it's at 1.491 million. So actually the EHP with the damage control activated is a little bit lower, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. All right, so let's dock this up. And let's look at what we're going to do with the rigs. So I think the DPS is quite respectable without actually needing to do that much more on this ship. But again, the question in my mind is whether I want to go integrated or not. Integrated is obviously a lot more expensive, but I do have some of the modules already for this, and again, some of the integration, the modules are quite cheap. Let me have a quick, some of the rigs are quite cheap for this. Let me just have a quick look at my hangar here, and if I have any integrated modules here already. That's my ship base. Let's go to the item base. Let's scroll through here a second. Let's have a look. Do I have any integrateds here? Oh, so I have one. Again, this is not integrated. So what am I going to do with the rigs? So I will obviously have to buy rigs. The cheapest, in terms of offensive rigs, the cheapest offensive rigs are the warhead rigger and the warhead catalyst, which again are quite nice on a Typhoon because they provide additional bonuses to help your missiles and apply your damage. So I could go with those, and then, but considering the ship is so tanky, I wonder whether I should go more down the route of kind of filling in the holes on the damage. Again, let me just have a look if I undock and activate. So maybe an EM. Again, a 30% shield bonus rig would probably be quite nice on this ship as well, because that already plays into the very large shield and the shield extenders. Let's have a quick look. Let me stop the ship. Okay, stop. Let me have a quick look at this once I activate all of those. Do I need to fill holes? Oh yeah, it's the defense one. So with all of those defensive hardeners on there already, my EM resistance is already at 77%. So if I actually put a dedicated EM resist hardener on there, it won't make a dramatic difference. And again, in the thermal is not much. So I mean, I could just go with an EM, a thermal, and an EM thermal, and what's the other one, and the shield size. Or I could go simply with the shield size, the integrated with the warhead rigger and the warhead catalyst to improve DPS, or maybe, and then maybe one bay loading accelerator. So I've got a mix of DPS, because I think the resistances there are already pretty high. I also have the damage control to activate. The yellow shield will also be beneficial. I've also got a shield extender on there as well. It's a tough choice because, again, yeah, I'm not quite sure. Let's have a look at the rig slots. Oh, I just had some on when I brought the ship down. The free ones we used to get. Just wondering here. Okay, so combat rig. Let's have a look at the prices on these right now. Oh, let me dock up. Let's have a look at the prices on these. And of course, the other module I haven't mentioned is a covert ops cloak, which again, it will really depend on circumstances. Let me have a quick look here again. Was there anything? Capacitor, navigation? Is there any more details on here? Warp speed. So I just want to check the Typhoon special offer. Now I've got some stuff on here. Does it show the jump range here? Just says 4 light years. Okay, let's look at the price of rigs and decide. So we do have one integrated module if I do decide to go that route, and I am tempted. I mean, I could go use that for EM and thermal to add a little bit of extra defense, and then a shield expanded, and then a bay loading. That might be the best option. But again, the EM and thermal, buying 6 of those are very expensive rigs. So in terms of the combat rigs, in terms of the weapon rigs, and we'll go to missile launcher rigs. So you've got the warhead catalyst here, level 3, and that's only, let's see what the actual price is now. Those are 900,000, so you can get 6 of those. It's going to cost about 6 million, which, okay, maybe a little bit more, but around 6 million. And then you've got the warhead rigger catalyst here, and that's going to cost around 12 million. So really not spending a huge... Oh no, these have jumped up in price. Wow, they've jumped up quite significantly. Weird. Okay, so it's definitely going to be more than the... Wow, that's jumped up a lot from the price last week. So again, just says what I'm saying, what it bears repeating. I think there's so many people active at the moment that the prices have jumped up on everything. So that's going to cost around 60 million, which really isn't that much as well. So you're looking at a total of about 70 million for 12 rigs in the integrated using that. If I was going to, again, obviously ridiculous, the bay loading accelerator, which is the best one for extra damage, those are now, what's the price on those now? That says 60 million, but I've got a feeling it's going to be a lot more. 19 million. Wow, the bay loading accelerator is not much more expensive now. And then let's have a look at the shield, the defensive rigs, and let's have a look at EM, thermal, and shield size. If we go to engineer rigs, and I believe it's engineering rigs. Oh no, sorry, it's combat rigs, but it's the weapon rigs. Am I being stupid here? Oh, defensive rigs, here we go. So shield rigs. Alright, so let's just double check which one. So this is the core defense. That's the activation time reduced, but again, I'm not using, I'm not planning to use reppers on this. Core defense charge. Okay, so that's the shield amount boost. So again, that's not really very relevant. Core defense capacitor, again, not very relevant because I'm not using a booster. Core defense field. So this is the one. So this is the shield bonus on this is 30%. And if I look at the level 4 version, the shield bonus on this is 35%. I might actually go for this one. I know it's pretty expensive, but again, it's one of those ones I will get back. And then in terms of EM, anti-EM screen, let's have a look at the prices now. Again, that's, if I'm just buying one, that's 54 million. And how much is the, oh well, the anti-EM, I'm not going to spend nearly 2 billion on that. It's probably more as well. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, 2.2 bill, so yeah, kind of outside my budget. And then the anti-thermal here, again, let's have a look at what the current price is. Yeah, so these are too expensive to get 6 of them, definitely. I think the integrated is going to be the velocity, the catalyst rigger, the rigger and the catalyst for better damage application. I'm then going to get the shield extender, so the core defense field, this one, and then the third slot is going to be a toss-up between a bay loading or an anti-EM, but I kind of think the anti-EM, well, this is a tanky ship. I kind of think whether I should go for the anti-EM. If I go for a level 4 on that, that is one, how much is that? That's 2.285. How much is the bay loading? Let's have a look at the bay loading on the level 4. Bay loading 2.39, so that's even more expensive. And the bay loading here is 19.5. And how much is the EM? Choices. Again, the ship is very defensive. Maybe I should go all in, apart from the integrated. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the EM on this. So I think I'm going to go with the extended shield, so the core defense shield extender, so 35% shield bonus. Let's purchase one of those. So that's a relatively cheap level 4 rig. I'll get that one. And then I will get the EM, but this is only going to be a level 3. Okay, so let's get that. Purchase, just one. And then what we're going to do is we will go for the weapon rigs. And as I said, I'm looking here at application. So, and these are quite cheap. Well, again, the rigger catalyst, let's have a look at that again. Is now how much? The rigger catalyst is, but again, I think we're using the missiles. They're 10 million each. Yeah, so I'm going to go with these. So I'm going to buy 4 of these. Purchase. And I'm going to buy 2 of these. Purchase. Oh, that's one. Let me get the other one. Purchase. Okay. And then I am going to get the warhead flare here, which again is nice and cheap. So I'm going to buy 2 of those. Okay. Purchase. And I am going to buy 3 of those. Okay, purchase. And I'm going to buy 1 of those. Purchase. So let's have a look now. Let's jump back to my hangar here. So ship base, let's select all and stack all. Okay, and let's have a look now at there's the integrated rig here. Let's see, where is that? Okay, so integrated. Oh no, we don't want to do that. We want to do integration. And what we're going to go for here is the explosion velocity bonus and the explosion radius reduction. Start integration, confirm integration. So that's ready to go. Okay, so that's a 11.2% explosion radius bonus and a plus 14% explosion velocity bonus. Excuse me. All right, so let's go back to the ship and let's have a look here. Alright, so let's go and have a look at these slots here. So we are going to drop in the enhanced 2P combat fit, which is a total of 12 rigs, albeit cheap ones. We are then going to drop in the core defense field, which will increase the shield by 35%. Fit. And now we are going to add in the anti-EM screen. Fit. Okay, so let's now have a look. So in total, the defense is now 274,000. Let's have a look at that. You can see there is still a hole in thermal there, but let's undock and see what the situation is now that I've got those sort of defensive and offensive rigs installed. Okay. Right. Bumping into an Abaddon. Okay, sorry, I just got to move something over the screen. Okay, let's stop the ship there. Stop. Okay, so let's just hit the tank and move this out of the way. And let's have a look at the EHP now. So the EHP now is 620,000. So that is going to take a significant amount of effort for someone to chew through. Now, in addition to that, again, let me just check if the right mode is on. Yes, it is. And then in addition to that, I have these large missiles, which will be doing, let's have a look. So they are now, so the explosion radius is now 202. which is still not that small, but for large missiles is not bad. And the explosion velocity is 111, which again means that they will be delivering reasonable amounts of damage. Well, certainly better than a Raven would in terms of the application. And then the total DPS on there now is 2,800. And again, there's no extra damage mods on there. It's kind of a purely defense fit. And let me just check if I activate the shield extender. Let me have a quick look what impact that has. So it doesn't really change anything, so it's 620,000, but obviously that has added an extra percentage onto the shields there, which you can kind of see that highlighted, that extra, the white part area, and again that is going to be quite hard to chew through. And let's actually look while we're here in terms of the defense. So we're now looking at 86% EM resist, 79% thermal, 85 kinetic, and 87 explosive resistances. All right, so let me dock up again now. So that's 620 passive tank for people to chew through, which I think is quite reasonable, because hopefully in terms of the Black Ops, you're not planning to, it's not like you're going to be getting into a long-term fight with it. It's basically you're going to go in and try and gank something, and so you want to be able to kind of survive that experience. Okay, so let's look at the mid slots now. And again, my mid slots, I think I'm going to replicate what I have on my my PvP Typhoon down in 0.0, which is going to be a tracking computer, if I have one. No, I don't. Well, actually, let's put on the target painter. I do have some GUs to help with the effectiveness of the target painter, which in turn helps the application helps the application. Then in the other slot here, what we're going to do is we are going to get a tracking disruptor. So mid slot sub weapons. We're going to go for electronic warfare, tracking disruption modules, and again, I don't think any of those are available, and I'm not spending 400, so I think we're just going to go with this Imperial Navy tracking disruptor. We're going to buy one of those, purchase, and then I guess we want some kind of point on there. Energy neutralizer. Actually, let's get a large energy neutralizer, because again, just handy in terms of helping dissuade tackle. Let me just go for a true Sancha on this. None available. Let's say it's probably going to be Imperial Navy. Okay, I'm going to purchase one of those. And the last is probably going to be some kind of point, probably a long point. Let's have a look. Again, electronic warfare, target painting, warp scrambling modules here. Oh no, you probably want a warp jammer instead. And again, let's not get ridiculous on the prices here. So Republic Fleet, Federation Navy, none available. Let's try the Republic Fleet then. No, none available. That's weird. True Sancha. No, let's try Kaldari Navy. There's normally lots of these. Okay, there's one there, so purchase that. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So we'll add in the Imperial Navy Large. We will add it in the point, and we will add in the Republic. No, the. I thought I bought something else. What was it? I bought the large nude. Okay, yes, I guess a web is okay. Oh no, the tracking disruptor. Where did that go? Let's have a look again. Maybe I bought it in some other location. Electronic warfare. Tracking disruption modules. It was the Imperial Navy. I bought it in AMO. Okay, purchase. Okay, and let's jump back to the fitting here, Imperial Navy fit. And then finally, in terms of drones, I do have large drone skills, but I kind of find with the large missiles, there's a reasonable amount of DPS on the ship already. I kind of think it would be better to have medium drones, which I have max skills for. Again, for the same reason I have the large newt. It's just to help with any kind of close-in defense that's needed. So in terms of what I've got here stored, nothing spectacular, to be honest. I do have some large drones there, modified infiltrator, modified Vespa. Yeah, I'm just going to put these on for now. So I'm going to put those 2 Vespas on there. The modified is better than the T9 anyway. And I do have some small Hornets. Let's drop them in there as a backup. Actually, no, because I don't have any small drone skills. Maybe better to put... Have I got any larges there? Just one large. Well, what I'll do is I'll put a couple of Valkyries in there as backup, and also that large modified Praetor. Okay, so that is it for now. Again, the only other thing, obtain modules, which I'm going to buy, which I haven't really used apart from what I bother, is the I'm not even sure which slot it is. The covert, is it a... I assume it's a low slot. Shield booster, shield here, armor plates, armor hardeners, damage control, capacitor batteries, weapon upgrades, cloaking devices. Yeah, so it's a low slot. So covert ops, cloaking. This Sisters of Eve. Let's see if that's available. Probably not. No. Camouflage. No. These are probably selling pretty quickly at the moment. Let's see the smoke, covert ops. No. MK9. So we're just going to buy one, purchase. There we go. So yes, that's something I will be able to use. But again, I think it's just going to depend on the circumstances. Okay, so the ship is technically set up with the drones there. I mean, I could go for more blingy drones, but for now, I think this is going to be okay. 2,895 DPS, which is not bad. I mean, it's obviously not as good as some of those other pimped damage ships out there, but at the same time, the ship itself is very survivable. 274,000 in EHP there before activating any of the other defenses. And then let me just jump out of this, sorry, undock here again, and we'll just have a look at all the stats. So this has taken me, oh, this video is almost up to 47 minutes already, so I am going to finish very quickly. Thank you if you've managed to stay with me this whole time, and it's been interesting. Let me stop. Okay, and let me group up. Okay, take that off there, and let's group up all the weapons. Again, in terms of the weapons, I could be, if you were jumping into something where you knew you were going to be fighting a capital, for instance, it would probably be better, and you knew you were going to be close range, it would probably be better to get torpedoes. Let me see, in terms of the shields, let's put everything on this side. Actually, let's put that there. And then the damage control I'll bring up here. And all of these will go here. And I'll drop in one of the drones just so I can keep an eye on what they're doing. Alright, so let's have a look. Again, I didn't really... Oh, God. I've forgotten one other key element of this. And that is the other... I forgot the sort of navigation and engineering rigs. Now, let's have a quick look. I didn't really look at the cap. I assume this has got a good... Oh, what? Okay. Very interesting. Managed to walk to the wrong station. Okay. Let's go back to where I'm meant to be. Oh, wow, I even docked here. Wow, that's great. just waste another couple of minutes. Personal assets. Oh, well, okay. So let's go back to the right station. Okay. Alright, sorry about that, guys. My slip of the finger. So again, let's have a look at the capacitor while we're doing this. Okay. So currently the capacitor is 20 minutes 48. Again, there's no capacitor rigs on there. Luckily for this silly thing here, I've got these polycarbons on here at the moment. So the capacitor is 20 minutes, and again with no capacitor mods on there. I think in this case what I'm going to go for is a couple of capacitor rigs plus a locking speed rig, because I think when you're hot dropping, probably locking speed is probably going to be quite important. Okay, so let's go back here, back to the rigs, and let's have a look at what's available. Obtain modules. So engineer rigs, we'll go for the engineering rigs first. So you've got the semiconductor memory cell. Semiconductor memory cell 4 is 2.2. I think I'm going to skip that. I will go with a standard number level 3 on this, because I think the capacitor on the ship is fine. Missiles don't use capacitor, and I haven't got an active tank, so really actually I just wonder whether that on its own would be sufficient, and then go with two targeting system subcontrollers. Let me fit that one and see what impact that has on the oh no, don't tell me I've bought that somewhere else again. Yeah. Obtain modules. Really need to pay attention to that. Okay, engineering rigs, capacitor control. Okay, it looks like it's here. So where did I buy that other one? Or did I accidentally buy a semiconductor memory cell in a different station? Yes, I did, in AMAR again. Okay, and that's why it was cheaper anyway. Okay, let's just go at capacitor control circuit. Level 3, that's already 80 something million, or 90 something million. Purchase. Okay, and let's just slap that on. Capacitor control circuit, fit, confirm, and now let's see if that has an effect. So now I am cap stable again. So I'm just wondering whether I bother putting a semiconductor memory control, another semiconductor on there, or another capacitor control, or just going with two targeting, which kind of help me lock faster. Again, in terms of the ship itself, again, you never know. There is a risk of getting neutered out sometimes, so having that extra bit of capacitor can help. In terms of the capacitor, what's the total? So it's 14,000, so it's quite significant. I think I'm going to play it safe. I will go with a semiconductor memory control and then one targeting. Again, it should be okay, but so engineering rigs, and I will go at a semiconductor memory control here. Purchase 23 million, and then a targeting system subcontroller. How much is the 1.7? No, I'm just going to go at the level 3. Make sure that is in this station. Oh my god, I didn't even look on the last one. Did I just buy another one in AMAR? Let's look. Did I do that? All right. Yes, I did. Fit. Okay, that's the targeting system, and now I have to go and buy another semiconductor. And then I'm going to have to clean up in AMAR afterwards. Engineer rigs. Engineering rigs. My only excuse is it's pretty late here. Alright, so we're going to purchase that one, which is in the right station. Here we go. And let's slap that on. Okay, so rigs wise, with the exception of the one integrated, but the rigs in there, well, I had a spare integrated the module anyway, and then the rigs inside are not too pricey, like 70-80 million total. And then obviously the level 4 in terms of core defense capacitor is pretty pricey, and this is the, hang on, let me just check. Core defense capacitor, what? That should be core. Oh, anti-AM. Okay, there we go. Alright, so let's undock one file time and take a quick final look at the stats on this. And then I'm going to have to finish as it's almost midnight here. Stop. Okay, let's activate all the shields and let's jump in and quickly look at the stats one last time. Alright, so 2,895 DPS, so close to 3,000, which again with no particular damage mods and only a couple of the one integrated, that's not bad damage at all. And again, there should be reasonable application with this because we do have that integrated, and then the ship also has an explosion velocity bonus, so those missiles should be hitting pretty decently. Obviously a mega tank here with an extremely nice resistances. The capacitor is stable with a total capacity of 16,000, so it would take someone a long time to nuke me out. And in terms of my modules, again, the only things that we're using a reasonable amount are those mid slots. But that'll be relatively negligible. The defense we've already looked at, the capacitor, the targeting. So my scan resolution is 248, source radius 398. So we'll be able to lock targets reasonably quickly. And then in terms of speed, the Typhoon is one of the faster battleships, but obviously there's no prop mods on this at all, so we're looking at a warp speed of 2.0, and then the actual navigation, the max velocity is 238, which for a battleship with no prop mods or no kind of speed rigs, that is okay. And again, certainly if you're moving at 238 or you're orbiting something, you will mitigate a reasonable amount of damage at that kind of speed. So again, if we're jumping in to hit dreadnoughts or carriers, well, dreadnoughts particularly, if you're orbiting them at close range, they're still going to have quite a hard time to hit you, and then also have a lot of shield to work their way through. So anyway, guys, that's it. I'm going to stop talking now. I have two more of these on my other two accounts to set up, and I'm not going to bore you with that. I hope you found this interesting. If you do have any suggestions and thoughts on this setup and what I can do better, then please let me know. Obviously, it'll be very situational. It'll depend on when and where I'm going to be using this, and I don't know if the Alliance is going to have some kind of doctrine fit. I do hope that my rigs are not completely pointless, but we shall see. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, if you have stayed around through the whole video, and I'll see you in space sometime. Bye.